Effects. If you want to follow along with this chapter, you'll need to restart your Pa5X so we'll both be in the same place from the beginning. And reset the crossfade slider by moving it a bit and setting it to the left. The Pa5X has an exceptional integrated effects system. There are 4 main sections: the individual EQs, the insert and master effects, the finalizer effects, and the final mastering effects. Remember that there are 2 simultaneous players. Each of them have their own set of effects, and each of the keyboard sets being used have their own set of effects. So each of the style or MIDI song tracks of player 1 have their own EQs, and each of the keyboard sets have their own EQs. Plus there are 10 insert effects available for player 1, and simultaneously 10 insert effects available for player 2. There are 3 master effects available for player 1, and simultaneously 3 master effects available for player 2. The effects available to the players are referred to as Effect Group A. Plus, there is a set of finalizer effects, an equalizer and a limiter for each of the players. The keyboard sets being used with each player each have their own EQs and effects as well. There are 3 insert effects available and 3 master effects available simultaneously for the 2 current keyboard sets. The insert and master effects available to the keyboard set are referred to as Effect Group B. First, let's look at the EQs. Go to the Funk and Blues category, page 1, Slap Funk, Exit. Press Menu, Mixer Effects, and touch here to go to the individual EQs. Upper 1, 2, and 3 and lower of the keyboard set, as well as each of the 4 pads, have their own 3-band EQ. Touch here to display the style tracks. Each of these have their own 3-band EQ as well. An effects group has 2 different types of effects: insert effects and master effects. When a sound is routed into an insert effect, the audio signal passes directly through the effect. Think of it as a guitar effect pedal you plug in and out of. Touch the Insert Effects tab. Like with the EQ page, this toggles between displaying the pads and keyboard and the style tracks. Make sure it's on pads and keyboard. There are 3 simultaneous insert effects available and can be freely assigned to upper 1, 2, and 3 and lower. For example, you can use all 3 insert effects on upper 1, or 1 insert effect for upper 1, 2, and 3, etc. To select an insert effect, turn it on, then touch here, and touch here. The insert effects are grouped by category on the left. Touch Filter, and the filter effects are available here. Let's choose Stereo Wah Auto Wah. Press Exit, and the edit page for the effect is displayed. Exit. Touch here to toggle to the style tracks. You can use 10 simultaneous insert effects, and like with the keyboard set, they can be assigned freely with a maximum of 3 insert effects per track. They are assigned, selected, and edited in the same way as we saw before. The drum kit is a special case. Touch the drum kit icon here. The sounds of a drum kit are grouped together in families, for example, bass drums, snare drums, toms, etc. Insert effects can be assigned to the individual groups here. For example, from the modulator category, a stereo flanger insert effect on all the snares. You can have a maximum of 2 insert effects per group. The 10 simultaneous insert effects are shared, so you could use 4 insert effects here, press Exit, and the remaining 6 insert effects for the rest of the style tracks. Master effects work differently. They are mixed in parallel with the dry signal coming from a track. You can apply as much or as little of a master effect you want for each track or keyboard set sound using the send parameters. So you can have a little bit of reverb on a piano, none on a bass guitar, and a lot on a string pad. Go to the Master Effects tab. These are the 3 available Group A master effects used for the style tracks or the MIDI song tracks and the pads. And these are the 3 available Group B master effects used by the keyboard set. In this case, a reverb and a chorus. Turning on the effects, selecting, and editing are done the same way as we saw with the insert effects. Go to the Master Effects Send tab and toggle to pads and keyboard. The Master Effect 1 Send sets how much reverb is on upper 1. Master Effect 2 Send sets how much chorus is on upper 1. Back to the Master Effect tab. The style is using all 3 master effects. Go to the Master Effect Send tab and toggle to Style. The 3 send knobs above each style track adjust the amount of each of the master effects. At the top of the drum track and the percussion track, this drum kit icon takes us to this window. Here, each drum family has their own 3 effect sends. For example, it's common to have reverb on a snare drum, but none on a bass drum. Press Exit. Go to the Finalizer tab. This is where you access a programmable EQ and limiter for the style and its 4 pads, or a MIDI song. The keyboard set doesn't go through the Finalizer effects. These effects give the sound of a song a clear and punchy finish before being sent to the mastering effects on the audio outputs. This looks like a simple 4-band EQ, but touch here to expand and see all the parameters. Each band has selectable frequency, Q, or the width of the range being boosted or cut, and the amount. You can have low or high shelving EQ curves, bell peaking type EQ curves. There are even high pass and low pass filters. These are studio grade mastering effects with a pleasant warm analog sound. Press Exit. These settings are saved with each style or MIDI song. Press Exit. And finally, the Maxx Audio Mastering Effects collection from WAVES. Go to Settings, WAVES. These effects are positioned at the end of the signal chain just before the audio outputs, adding to the depth of the sound coming out of the Pa5X. There are 2 main sections, a 7-band EQ and Master, which gives you a simple single parameter for bass, treble, stereo, and volume that do complex parameter adjustments behind the scene, making it easy and intuitive to dial in what sounds best to you. Both EQ and Master have presets to use as a starting point, plus you can save your own. Press Exit.